From the field to the villa, Afro basketball champions smile home with basket of awards.
And wait for the final icing on the cake. One flag is for players, coach, and technical team.
Adamawa flood victims return home with relief materials. State government sets up committee.
We'll go back and still send more professionals to come and make their own assessment and recommendation.
Tax credit scheme still on course. No need to panic. Works Minister assures contractors.
No contractor will be out of the site without, getting paid.
Hello and welcome to this winning edition of the Network News on NTA. Yes, we have a winning lineup with Afro Basket champions D Tigress in focus. And remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live. Do also follow us on social media. Our handles are displayed on the screen. And now the news in detail. The presidency has promised adequate support and preparation for the female basketball national team, D Tigress, ahead of the FIBA Women's World Cup next year. Vice President Kashim Shettima, who represented President Bola Tinubu, gave the assurance at the presidential reception for the 2025 Women's Afro Basket Champions. State House correspondent Musbau Danwahab reports.
The latest African champions in women's basketball are again from Nigeria. Another proud moment for Nigeria in 1 week. And Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, is the proud national mother, two-time lucky within the space of time.
Guys, for you first, and then let's see the cup.
Supported by wife of the Vice President, Nana Shettima, they enjoy the moment as women continue to make the nation proud on the continent. The First Lady leads in celebrating the hard work of these ladies, whom she says show the power of the Nigerian women breaking barriers.
This victory is not just a win on the court. It is a resounding statement of hard work, excellence, and national pride. This is a moment that will forever inspire generations of Nigerian girls and women to dream big, boldly, and pursue greatness. It is a clear indication that hard work and teamwork is what it takes to succeed.
Yes, yes! And Vice President Kashim Shettima submits to the impressive rounds of the women as exemplified by two national teams in quick succession.
Our women have consistently made us proud. They have shown the world that when opportunity meets preparation, Nigerian excellence is inevitable.
It says the government, under his principle, is committed to repositioning of sports as a pillar of youth development and national economy.
The Commission's renewed focus on athlete welfare, institutional reform, grassroots support, and performance-based development is already yielding results. Let this be a signal that we are on the right path. I'm very proud of you. You have made us proud, and we will stand by you as you prepare for the global stage.
And to the most awaited moments of reward for the champions. Nothing short of OON national honors, cash and material gifts.
And wait for the final icing on the cake. One flag is for players, coach, and technical team.
It means the world to us to be able to be hosted here today and to be able to represent our country in this way, to bring back another championship.
I'm so thankful for Your Excellency Tinubu on his behalf. This is life-changing for some of these girls, life-changing for us, and this is what we need, renewed hope We're so thankful for this, and we hope for more to come.
The African champions now shift attention to preparation for the FIBA Women's World Cup coming up next year in Germany. From the State House, Musbah Nanwahab, NTA News.
Indeed, after a successful campaign and the triumphant conquest of their rivals at the 2025 FIBA Women's Afro-Basket Tournament in Abuja, Côte d'Ivoire, Nigeria's national women's basketball team, the Tigress, have returned home to a rousing, heroic welcome. With their 5th consecutive title secured, Mission 5 is officially accomplished. Correspondent Bright Ebuchu, who was at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport earlier on, brings us the details.
From the courts of Abidjan to the heart of a grateful nation, they came, they fought, they conquered. And now, they return as queens crowned in glory. The Tigress, Nigerian's pride, Africa's finest, have danced once more to the rhythm of victory. Their 5th title gleaming like a star above the continent.
We keep going higher. World Cup, back to the Olympics, we keep going higher. But big thank you to NEC Chairman Diko, big thank you to Tinubu. You guys sent almost 11 officials to our game. That's what's important. We need support from our officials, we need support from our government, we need support from everybody, so thank you.
It feels amazing to be able to represent my country. The Senegal game was probably our toughest because they got up so late into the game and we had to find the mental toughness to fight ourselves back into the game and get over the hump and take the lead.
The expectation is to continue moving forward. I mean, what God cannot do does not exist, so we just want to keep moving forward, continue to be Team Nigeria, make new additions to the team, just continue to be great and see what comes of it.
And as the sun rose over Abuja, the gates of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport flung open to receive champions, not just of sport, but of spirit. Mission V is no longer a dream. It is history written in sweat, strength, and sisterhood. Bright Ebuchu, NTA News.
Yes, and still commending the Tigress on Mission V, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has congratulated the nation's female basketball team, the Tigress, for winning the FIBA 2025 Women's Afro-Basket competition. In a statement, Akpabio indicates this feat achieved by the Tigress has shown Nigerian women as pace setters capable of undertaking any task. Speaker, House of Representatives Abbas Tajuddin has also hailed Nigeria's women's basketball team, the Tigress, for beating Mali at the final of the 2025 FIBA Women's Afro-Basket, winning the trophy for a record 7th time. He commends the female basketball team for making Nigeria proud, saying the victory marks another joyful moment for Nigerians home and abroad, especially as the women's national football team, the Super Falcons, recently won the 10th WAFCON. Similarly, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu congratulates the national basketball team, the Tigress, for its historic victory at the 2025 FIBA Women's Afro-Basket Tournament. In her congratulatory message, the First Lady appreciates God for yet another victory and a second trophy won by the nation in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the Minister of Art, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy, Hannatu Musa Musawa, has congratulated Nigeria's esteemed women's basketball team on their historic achievement of winning the Afro-Basket. Musawa, who watched the final match live along with Women Affairs Minister Iman Suleiman Ibrahim and the Minister of State for Finance, Doris Nkiruka Uzoka Anite, commends the team for its outstanding performance in Sunday's final, which saw them defeat Mali 78-64 at the Palais de Sport de Trèffier in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Indeed, reaching the top requires perseverance and determination, but it's the ability to sustain and dominate that truly sets champions apart. This is the essence of the Nigerian spirit, which has propelled the Tigress to an impressive 5 consecutive wins in African women's basketball. Gift George tells us more.
Be immaculate. We're going to be fast. We're going to be strong. Okay, we're going to be very, very versatile. Okay, I want to be able to put out different lineups that can be very big and long and athletic, or very small and quick. Okay, so I don't want to tie myself to a certain style, but just know the brand of basketball is going to be top level and elite.
And that was how the journey for Rena Wakama and the D Tigers began. As they assembled in Abuja for the preparations for the tournament, the mission was clear: to defend the title and win it a record 5th time consecutively. The D Tigers showed the intent of defending the title with a hard-fought 75-68 victory over Senegal to set up the grand finale against Mali, which the D Tigers also won 78-64 to be crowned champion.
We have the most talent, so yes, I expected us to defend our title.
Nigeria as a country can always come up with as much as 5 national teams. So in my opinion, this might just be our second best team. So, but going to the world, we're set to dominate.
Big credit to the girls. Big credit to everyone who has made this possible.
With the victory, the D Tigers have also secured the ticket for the World Championship in Germany next year. In Lagos, Gift George, NTA News.
Thank you, Gift. Nigeria has made history as the first country to win 5 consecutive women's Afro-Basket championships, reinforcing their dominance in Africa. They also remain unbeaten in the tournament for a decade. Joining me to offer insight into what this means for African female athletes is the head basketball coach at the the FCT Sports Department, Emmanuel Oda. Congratulations, Coach, and thank you for joining our studios.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what would you say is the key to the team's success? I mean, 5 consecutive wins in a row.
Yes, consistency. Is the mother of progress. These ladies have been together since, the team has been put together since 2011 in Mozambique. Sarah Ugoke, the doctor, was there from the beginning. And I'm so happy as a veteran that she's there today. The thing about the female program and female sports in Nigeria is consistency. It is a consistency that has made us come this far. And we really appreciate the fact that government has been on our side, the support has been there. Because no matter how hard you work, no matter how much results you make, the sustenance is the appreciation you get from whoever, oversees the situation or the sport.
Now let's talk about strategy. I mean, consistency is key, like you've said, but what about strategy? How did the team adapt to overcome tough opponents like Senegal and Mali?
Yes, there's a thing about the Nigerian. There's a Nigerian heart. You always hear it everywhere you travel internationally. They say Nigerians know they carry last. It's a slogan, but that is what makes us the giants of Africa. I know that if you leave a Nigerian in the desert, he will drink sand to survive. We are hard, we are tough. So regardless of facilities or whatever is not there, the spirit of a Nigerian is a winning spirit. And you see it in these kids. You see it grow every day. And I kudos to the government for what they have just done. I mean, it's overwhelming. Everywhere is agog. There's joy everywhere, And the root of a tree is more important than the tree itself. So now you're touching the kids, you're touching the young ones are seeing prospect in doing sports, I don't think there's ever been any promotion, appreciation like this since I started doing sports, So, I'm overwhelmed, I'm happy. The strategy is the Nigerian heart, because sometimes our preparations are haphazard, because I remember these people came into camp like 2-3 days before they traveled, but it didn't change anything. I argued with so many coaches from the African countries, and we betted, and I told them that. I told them we're going to we'll crush everything, and I said it just like a prophet, and it came to pass. Because I knew what Nigeria was. I know my country. I know what we can do.
Thank you, Coach. Now, which players stood out in the tournament? And how should Nigerians, moving forward, how should Nigeria continue to train players so that they can continue to stand out?
We compete, Nigeria, there's this competition that is our major attribute. We like to compete a lot. You know, the competition in the Tigress was what gave them that victory, because there was a neck-to-neck competition between Ezinne and the person who became the MVP. So you see, we were not even looking at our opponents anymore. We were playing against ourselves, and we were pushing each other to the victory. You know, it was great. I mean, it's just a Nigerian heart. I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, I believe you know what I'm talking about. You know, we never carry last. We're just coming from Kigali now. The kids also represented Nigeria very well. You know, we did so well in the talent show. It's a basketball festival that comes up every 2 years. You know, same thing, same Nigerian factor.
Same Nigerian factor. And as you say, Coach, Niger, no, they carry last. Thank you very much for joining us to give insight.
Thank you so much.
And I've been speaking with the head coach at the FCT Sports Department, Emmanuel Oda, on the Afro Basket Championship. Now first, we'll be right back. You're watching the network news on NTA Live in Abuja. Life goes on after a devastating flood which claimed 26 lives in 13 communities in Adamawa State. Now that the flood is gradually receding, those affected are also slowly returning to their homes as the state government closes temporary settlements. Bilkisu Abubakar reports.
The water receded. Residents of the affected communities in Yola South local government area returned to their houses. Life remained unbearable considering the level of damages that are yet to be ascertained, especially the destruction of houses and other valuables.
The damage is everywhere. Nobody can certain to tell us the level of damage that is here, and also we lost lives and property here.
I even lost my child in the flood. We are yet to recover her.
The flood disaster, attributed to building on waterways and lack of drainages, has indeed devastated not only the victims but the economy of the nation. Following the receding of the water, government closed down the internally displaced persons camp that was occupied by over 600 displaced persons who now returned to their houses and nearby settlements. Federal government, through the National Emergency Management Agency and Northeast Development Commission, presented food and non-food items as well as 100 million naira from Bayelsa State Government to Adamawa State Government for onward sharing to the victims.
The President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, graciously approved these food items for the flood victims to be immediately shared by NEMA and other stakeholders directly to the beneficiaries without delay.
We just made a promise on behalf of the governor of Adamawa State that whatever we have received, we assure you that we judiciously give them out to the affected people.
Governor Ahmadu Umar Fintiri had earlier visited the ongoing construction of a dam by a Chinese mining company in Kofsopa district of Fufore local government area that claimed to be responsible for the flood in Yola South local government, where he promised to deploy another team of experts to make recommendations.
I don't see any threat here. As regards the spillway, this is natural with every dam. And we'll go back and still send more professionals to come and make their own assessment and recommendation.
This is not an illegal mining site. This is a licensed mining site. It's not illegal. We were here on a Saturday before the flood. Where you saw us now standing, it was the same thing.
While the victims are still counting their losses, government is working out modalities to provide succor as the Nigerian Meteorological Agency continues to warn people residing along flood-prone areas to relocate to safer ground. In Yola, Bilkisu Abubakar, NTA News.
Building up on what Bilkisu said, Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Fintiri has constituted a 21-member relief and post-recovery committee chaired by Deputy Governor Professor Kaletapwa Farauta in response to the recent flooding in Yola South local government area of the state. The committee members have been tasked to identify measures to bring succor to the affected communities and develop a strategy for post-recovery, as government is committed to supporting affected communities, working towards solutions to mitigate future recurrences. The governor advises the committee to ensure transparency, fairness and diligence in its assignment. Closely related, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET) has advised communities residing in flood-prone areas to evacuate as the country approaches the peak of the rainy season. In a statement issued this Monday, the agency indicates that expected intense rainfall will increase moisture and raise river levels, significantly heightening the risk of flash and riverine flooding. It predicts that 12 states, Sokoto, Zamfara, Jigawa, Katsina, Yobe, Borno, Kebbi, Kano, Bauchi and Gombe will experience more intense rainfall in the coming days. However, NIMET notes that the southwestern part of the country will experience a dry spell known as the August break, which may last for several days without rain. Emergency management agencies across states are advised to remain on alert. Still talking climate matters, Kano State government is taking appropriate measures to ensure the success of its target of planting 5 million trees across all 44 local government areas in 2025. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf made this known while launching the campaign at the shelter belt, Mbawa shelter belt in Makoda local government area. Abdullahi Mustafa reports.
Planted in 1972, the Mbawa shelter belt was originally established to combat desertification and land degradation in Kano State. However, years of poor management and indiscriminate tree felling hindered its effectiveness. Now, a renewed sense of hope emerges as Kano State government commits to revitalizing the area through its 2025 tree planting campaign, which aims to plant 5 million trees across the state. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf described the initiative as a key step in addressing climate change and that government has taken adequate measures to ensure its successful implementation.
This is being complemented by the full implementation of Kano State Climatic Change Policy and Climate Change Action Plan.
The governor disclosed that 2 nurseries located in Gorzo and Garko local government areas have already been revived and will supply seedlings for planting in schools, places of worship, public spaces and along major roads. Chairman of Dambata and Makoda local government councils expressed their commitment to supporting the success of the tree planting initiative. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
In another development, the federal government has clarified issues bordering on concerns surrounding the possible discontinuation of funding for road infrastructure projects under the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited Tax Credit Scheme. Kenneth Nanim has the details.
Works Minister David Umahi, in a meeting with the affected contractors in Abuja, reaffirms the administration's commitment to infrastructure development. On the issue of unpaid certificates under the NNPCL tax credit scheme, the minister clarifies that majority of the projects will remain unaffected, assuring the contractors, particularly those working on concession-bound roads, that before such projects are handed over to prospective concessionaires, all necessary steps would have been taken.
But I have said that any project that is going to be concessioned and we've seen the contract, we've seen the money, that no contractor will be out of the site without, getting paid. But in the NNPC project, I don't see much of request for concession in all the projects that you are doing. Most of the projects that are, up for concession are budgetary, projects.
Works Minister Umahi directed that all contractors and field officers should return to sites and resume work immediately, and emphasizes that updated project documentation, including revised scopes for critical corridors like the Lokoja-Benin dual carriageway, and all other projects must be submitted within 7 days. Minister Umahi informed all contractors of NMPCL projects that President Tinubu has approved that funding of such projects from 1st August 2025 will continue on a new sustainable funding mechanism. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Still on projects, Borno State capital, Maiduguri, continues to wear a new look with more people-oriented projects springing up in the ancient city. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum says in addition to adorning the city, the projects will provide social services in line with the urban renewal program of the state government. Mohammed Goni reports on some of these landmark projects inspected by the governor.
About 10 kilometers away from Maiduguri metropolis, the Kashim Ibrahim University Teaching Hospital stands as a magnificent edifice along Kano Road, drawing attention with its impressive architecture. The two-story structure is designed to meet the standards of a modern teaching hospital, serving both as training ground for medical professionals and as tertiary healthcare facility. Governor Zulum inspected various sections of the hospital, which is at the completion stage, with finishing touches ongoing, to pave the way for installation of equipments and other necessary facilities for smooth take-off.
If we can have a teaching hospital with the state-of-art facilities, people will prefer to go to the state teaching hospital than to Cairo and India.
Another flagship project is the Maiduguri International Conference Center, situated on a 7-hectare plot with a built-up area of approximately 6,000 square meters and a main hall capacity of 4,000 seats. The center also comprises a 2,500 capacity multipurpose hall, guest chalets, banquet halls, seminar rooms, and other supporting facilities. To tackle perennial flooding in parts of Maiduguri and neighboring communities, the state government is constructing a modern flood drainage control network.
After the completion of this work, the annual problems of drainage that we are facing, or flooding that we are facing along the entire Gomari Kulumputo axis will be a thing of the past.
The post office flyover, the fourth of its kind constructed under the Zulum administration, aligns with the urban renewal policy captured in the state's 25-year development framework and 10-year strategic plan. The governor was conducted round and briefed on the progress of the project by the Commissioner for Works, Mustapha Gubio, and the site engineer, Korishi Tima.
The population of Maiduguri is increasing rapidly in a quick geometrical ratio. But the infrastructure available in the town cannot cater for the needs of the population. So what we need is to upgrade the infrastructural facility in terms of road networks. In terms of, you can see these flyovers. Without these flyovers, people cannot even pass the post office in the next 2 years.
With over 230 projects executed by the Zulum administration in its second term and several others ongoing, the governor emphasized the importance of public sensitization on project ownership and the need to imbibe a culture of maintenance. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Similarly, the federal government says it is committed to improving the lives of Nigerians through infrastructural development, economic growth and investment in human capital. President Bola Tinubu reiterated this in a message at a Citizens Government Engagement Forum held in Kafin Hausa, Jigawa State. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has restated his administration's determination to build a stronger and more prosperous Nigeria by focusing on critical infrastructure, economic reforms, and human capital development. The message was delivered on his behalf by the governor of Jigawa State, Malam Umar Namadi, during a citizen government engagement meeting in Kafin Hausa, the governor's hometown. Governor Namadi used the opportunity to highlight major developmental strides recorded under both the federal and the state governments, spanning sectors such as education, healthcare, agriculture, infrastructure, and youth empowerment. In a symbolic moment, community elders presented a written document containing the development aspirations of the people in the area. Governor Namadi commended the initiative and assured the community that their inputs will be factored into future state fiscal budgets.
We are here to confirm to the people of Kafin Hausa that the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and also the government of Jigawa State will continue to work hand in hand to ensure that we have helped the people, we have reduced poverty, we have reduced unemployment, and we have improved the living standard of the people of Jigawa State.
The governor was received by crowds. Stakeholders attributed the massive turnout to the growing popularity of the governing party, driven by pro-people policies and good governance at both federal and state levels. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And from Kafin Hausa in Jigawa State, we head to Lagos, where Hingino John Adams is standing by with more stories. Hingino.
Thank you, Naja'atu, and welcome to Lagos. To effectively tackle sea piracy and other various activities in the Gulf of Guinea and the nation's maritime domain, experts say international collaboration is of utmost importance to guarantee a smooth sail on all international maritime routes. Joel Pupola reports that stakeholders believe that countries can leverage latest technology to address vulnerabilities being exploited by criminal elements.
The Gulf of Guinea has significant economic impact on most countries in Africa and beyond. Apart from being a major maritime route, its immense natural resources, especially oil and gas, has made it the cynosure of all eyes. And these maritime experts believe is the reason for the security threats along the Gulf of Guinea. This worrisome trend must not be allowed to fester in view of its threat to the maritime sector. Stakeholders believe the need for a joint approach to combat the menace of sea piracy is inevitable.
Terrorists exploit weakness, so data are important in all the domain of the border management, and data help to have this kind of knowledge that is crucial to make sure and to also facilitate the access to the country to the legitimate people, goods and all the commerce.
Security is all encompassing. Both international and internal security, they are now linked, so that the gaps in the maritime domain are strictly covered, especially in the Gulf of Guinea.
Securing the Gulf of Guinea is instrumental to the global economy, and this has necessitated the involvement of the Italian government, which is helping in the joint patrol.
We have to achieve global security, and the Gulf of Guinea is really a strategic area because there is a significant passage of goods, and so the security of the route between Africa and Europe and Africa and the rest of the world are key to ensure that we can achieve the common prosperity.
While Nigeria has recorded zero piracy along its coastline in the last 3 years, courtesy of the Deep Blue project, and replicating this in the Gulf of Guinea, experts say, should be prioritized. In Lagos, Joel Ukwola, NTA News.
A veritable exhibition platform to harness the great creative opportunities inherent in archival materials as weapons for sustainable human existence and development is what the CASIA, the Lagos Berlin Archive Film Festival, provides. Adeola Komiakere completes the report.
From colonial cinema that constructed the regime of truth about the colony to cinema as resistance against colonialism, the CASIA Film Archives and film archival practices are undergoing dynamic renewal across Africa.
Our films carry memories, they carry identity, and they carry truths. This is why this festival matters. It brings attention to the works that are often hidden. It reminds us that without deliberate effort, we will lose more than just a footage.
The Minister of Creative Economy represented said archiving tells a lot about Nigeria's history.
I think audiovisual gives a palpable story, that really lives itself.
It calls on all of us to look again at Africa's cinematic history, not as a closed chapter, but as a living, breathing body of work that still speaks, still moves, and still inspires.
Artistic directors of the festival speak.
We wanted to show with this program this part of what cinema is, so we are collaborating with partners all over the world.
We are also considering what processes of forgetting
trigger this mass burial of memory and history.
There was screening of several films, including Kuba Nabana, produced by Brenda Sule Shehu in 1992.
I discovered that there are areas that should have close-ups. I left it for a long time. If I could do that film again, it would take a different shape.
I see it like history beckoning on Jos, Plateau State, to ensure that the history of film is documented.
There are also goodwill messages from stakeholders in the industry. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos. The news continues shortly.
Welcome back to our Abuja studios. You're just in time for business updates with Musa Abubakar. Musa?
Well, now, let's begin business. The new United States Consul General to Nigeria, Rick Swartz, says his focus will be on expanding commercial engagements and fostering sustainable growth through trade, investment, and innovation. He made this known during a high-level meeting with the Minister of Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwale, in Abuja. The high-level engagement is coming at a time trade relations between the U.S. and Nigeria is experiencing a significant shift due to a new U.S. trade policy that has imposed a new 15% tariff on imports from Nigeria, effective August 2025.
And we continue to deliver win-win for our economies. We've talked about different sectors, what's important to them, and I've also expressed what is important to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We're committed to food sovereignty. We're committed to making sure that our digital trade, we're competitive, continues to thrive.
The U.S. is very aware that Nigeria is the largest commercial market on this continent, and there's already a great deal of U.S. investment and trade here, and we want to see that grow. It is important, though, to the administration in Washington that this be free trade, fair trade that benefits both nations and both business sectors.
A long history of free trade between our two countries, and we hope that that will continue. There's a natural propensity for Nigerian businesses to gravitate towards American business and vice versa.
The Nigerian equities market sustained its bullish momentum, closing today's session in positive territory. The all-share index climbed to 144,071. 0.78 points, reflecting renewed investor confidence and sustained interest in blue chips stocks. Market activity remained vibrant with 35,963 deals recorded. Investors exchanged over 811 million shares, valued at 19.47 billion naira, indicating a robust trading session across key sectors. Meanwhile, the market capitalization also surged, hitting a new high of 91.15 trillion naira, a clear signal of growing appetite for Nigerian equities in the aggregate. 127 NGX listed equities participated in trading, ending with 47 gainers and 23 losers. Analysts attribute the upbeat sentiment to improve corporate earnings and steady macroeconomic outlook, with buying interest expected to persist in the near term. That's business news. The news continues after the break.
President Bola Tinubu extends heartfelt congratulations to Abdul Samad Rabiu, Chairman Boa Group, on his 65th birthday, celebrating Rabiu's life, a life defined by quiet excellence, courageous enterprise, and faith in Nigeria. Describing him as one of Africa's most accomplished businessmen, President Tinubu commends Rabiu for his calm leadership and profound impact through his businesses and the Abdul Samad Rabiu Africa Initiative, ASR Africa, noting that it has created thousands of jobs, deepened industrial capacity, and delivered landmark interventions in education, health, and social development. President Tinubu wishes the BOA chairman God's continued guidance and wisdom to continue being a nation builder. Similarly, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu joins family, friends, colleagues and associates to celebrate the 65th birthday of the chairman of BOA Group, Abdul Samad Rabiu, CFR. business mogul, philanthropist and member, Board of Trustees of the Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI, praying he celebrates many more years in divine health, joy, peace and prosperity. Senator Tinubu says his business acumen, commitment to national development and contributions to the Renewed Hope Initiative continue to inspire many across the globe. And on that congratulatory note, we conclude the network news on NTA. Thanks for being a part of it. I'm Naja Atutijani.